Hi guys, today we're going to do stuff a little bit different just to help me stay focused and channel what exactly I should talk about today. Tomorrow is the full moon in Libra, and I definitely believe that it's a powerful one. I think there's a whole lot of energies surrounding relationships. That could be with people, that could be with material things, just anything that you're clenching onto that may not be the best for you at this time. I believe that this is the best time right now to let it go. The energies are working with us to do that, to propel us towards our highest good. I truly believe that this month of April is a very powerful month. We actually are going to have 2 new moons, and the second new moon at the end of the month is actually an eclipse. I'm very excited and interested to see what kind of energies that bring, but right now what I'm working with is just a lot of releasing of emotions. So today I pulled some oracle cards. Yesterday's video I mentioned that I did tarot, but I do oracle cards too. Tarot I'm still really learning, and don't feel comfortable enough yet to do that on video where I'm, giving advice at least. That's more my best friend's expertise. She reads cards like nobody's business, but oracle, that's my thing. And so I pulled some today about surrounding the energies, just what I should talk about. The reason why I think I feel more comfortable with oracle cards is because I can relate it to my own life and then just talk about the lessons or what I've worked through or how I'm processing what the cards are talking about. So that's kind of how this video is going to go. I'm just going to read a couple of these cards and then translate it into what I understand. So the first card says, my relationships will change when my vibration changes. You are living in the time when fewer people will attempt the impossible task of pushing the unwanted far enough away that they will be left with only that which is wanted. It is the time when more people will come to the realization that what they have been seeking is not a change in the behavior of others or in the world outside of them, over which they have no control, but instead an understanding of their own vibrational relationship with Source, over which they have complete control. To me, what this card is talking about is we are constantly manifesting with our thoughts, whether we realize it or not. Whether it's a negative thought or a positive thought, whatever we are thinking about is what is going to come forward in our life. Whatever vibration we are on is what we're going to call forth. So for me, some of the emotional things that I am working through is understanding that I had some serious abandonment wounds that from childhood that translated into adulthood, that seriously reflected on my relationships and how the dynamic worked out. Because of my abandonment issues, I almost overloved, motherly type, where I wasn't allowing people that I loved to live their own life, be responsible for their own actions. It's like I understood they were hurting themselves and all I wanted to do was fix it for them. But I understand now I can't do that for everybody. And the reason why I wanted to fix it in them is because I was so terrified that if they were broken, then I wouldn't have them around. it goes back to abandonment, you know? And so therefore I accepted poorer behavior than I deserved, and my health reflected on it. I put myself in situations that I didn't stand up for myself in situations that I probably should have. I seeked approval of people that now I realize their opinions shouldn't matter. I never needed their guidance or love, really, because everything I need is inside. I just had to find myself. I had to basically face my worst fears of raising my children on my own with their dad going on and creating his own life, and that's okay. I understand that's what he has to do to find himself. I get that now. But I mean, when you grow up and you experience certain things, you want, hopefully, to do better. So when I went into having children, I did rush it, best believe, because there goes that abandonment issues again, where I just wanted somebody to love me that was never going to leave me, and that I knew that I could love and pour all of me into. And so here I was at 18 years old trying to have a baby and attach myself to a family that I really knew nothing about, a man I knew nothing about. And at the end of the day, I know that that's where I was supposed to be, because I have 4 beautiful, beautiful, special blessings. And everything I've experienced my whole entire life has taught me and made me who I am today. But I have to understand my part in relationships, and people can only hurt you or use your insecurities against you that, like, you haven't dealt with or don't want to address, or you know, that's what I have for that card. The next card says, nothing ever goes wrong because every piece of contrast, no matter how wrong it seems to be, is always helping you clarify what it is you do want. That's basically what I'm talking about. Everything I've ever experienced taught me and showed me what I really do want. It, you know, before, the way I viewed marriage, I just thought marriage meant being a wife, taking care of your kids, putting others before yourself because you're the mom. Like, you hold that shit down. And I still do, best believe. I make things happen. And the last 3 years, that's even been amplified, because emotionally, financially, I've had to support 4 human beings that, there's a lot of emotional trauma that I have had to work through with them. Again, going back to abandonment, because we as human beings and through ancestral karma have cords and contracts all about the same thing. So as I'm breaking my curses with abandonment, I 100% believe that I am helping my children break down and understand, but they're young, their minds, they're grieving a relationship, a person that still is here on this earth. And I can say that because I've had to do that with many people at this point. And even if I were to see that person today, I will treat them with respect. But I am looking at them like they're a whole new person, because the person I knew, that person's gone or didn't even exist. Really, it was expectations that I had in my mind, just like they had of me. Because in all honesty, I think that's where our biggest pain comes from in life, is having these expectations for people based on things that we've been taught, or that we've been taught or see on television and social media, that teaches us, this is what life is supposed to look like. And we don't really take into consideration that person's true wants, needs, soul mission. We all have soul missions. We all come to and I mean, there's many of them, big and small. Every person that we come into contact with, we are exchanging energy, and we are teaching them something, whether it is a positive or negative thing. Okay, it says, every piece of contrast, no matter how wrong it seems to be, is always helping you to clarify what it is you do want, and that is the thing that we want you to remember most of all. The contrast, no matter how it looks in any moment, is contributing mightily to your expansion. The things that you call things going wrong in your life experience are actually only the distance between the things that are right and your current perspective about them. I'm going to read that one more time. The things that you call things going wrong in your life experience are actually the distance between the things that are so right and your current perspective about them. So basically, this is just talking about, when things go wrong, when we lose people, when shit's just not going right, or we feel like, this isn't how we planned it. That just means there's something better. There's something that is right for you. People come to us in seasons, jobs. They're not all meant to stay, because we grow, we evolve, we rise in vibration. Once you rise in vibration, not everyone is gonna rise with you, and most of the time it's because of stubbornness, pride, ego. They're just not ready yet. Maybe it's not their time. I don't know. I can tell you that I know I see things in other people that they don't see in themselves. But I can't convince nobody of their worth if they feel unworthy. And I understand that now. The way we love ourselves, the way we talk to ourselves, the way we view ourselves is the equivalent of what we can love or be loved. What others are gonna view us as, treat us as. Basically, we call in the vibration that we're in equivalent to. So if you're broken, you're gonna call in broken people. For me, I wanted to fix them because I thought that would fix me at the end of the day. No, I had to look internally and understand, why do I react the way that I react? Why do I hold so tightly? Why do I feel responsible for other people's actions, relationships, feelings, repercussions? That's so much weight that doesn't belong to me. But it was a cycle. I mean, we're taught as women, at least for me, I'm in a family, I have seen some powerful women. I mean, my grandma, I tell you what, but she took some shit. I mean, I remember looking at pictures of her and she's missing her front tooth. And I was like, how did that happen? Oh, Grandpa knocked her tooth out. But, I mean, she was taught, divorce is not something that happens. You take care of your man, you serve your man, so many things. Like, I see so many cycles that I have had to work through, process, understand, like, are these even my true feelings, or are these just things that I've witnessed, seen, been accepted so much that I just think, oh, this is what you do. No. If it doesn't feel good to me internally, I'm not doing it. And I won't accept it. Okay, the next card says, as you walk away from one unpleasant situation, the law of attraction will bring another that feels very much like it, and usually quickly. You just cannot get there from there. To get where you want to be the place of feeling better, you have to reach for alignment between you and you. Getting yourself feeling good before you take action is always the best process. For when you do not feel good, you cannot be inspired to any action that will solve the problem. So this is talking about the same thing. Like, you have to take care of yourself. You have to do the inner work. You can't move on from one bad situation and think, I'm just going to jump into this other one. It doesn't matter if you're talking about relationships, if you're talking about a job. If you aren't handling the root issue of whatever it is, it's just going to keep reoccurring. It's a pattern. It's something that wants you to say, okay, I've been doing this over and over and over. It's not working. Let me try something else. Or I continue to allow these people or, this person to treat me this way. I know I don't like it, but I stay. It's not going to fix until you put yourself first and stand up for yourself. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's a career, a relationship. It doesn't matter if it's your child. And, sometimes you just have to put yourself first. If it doesn't feel good to your soul, you just have to say no. And I've had to learn this so many times. And now I'm also understanding that I have to let go of the responsibility and the feeling of guilt. Like, I almost have this, like, guilt, like I'm leaving people behind as I grow. But I realize that's not my responsibility. Why do I feel that way? It's something I need to heal. So then that comes to this card. It's out of my Moonology. And it says, what do you need to release? At the beginning of the week, I did a healing session with a pretty amazing lady. She is a much more advanced decodes. I'm not even in decodes. I'm just in Healers Rising Academy. But decodes 2 is like a third class, way level up. And she basically, they're learning how to use energy healing work, but also with the anatomy and body, and really pinpoint where specific chords and contracts are stored in the individual's body, or how they're manifesting in a physical form. And so I had a lot of things that a couple things that we went through, but basically at the end of the day, there were two major things that I needed to release, cords and contracts within my body that is storing pain or causing a hormonal release that's causing a rash on my face. I mean, crazy things can manifest in your body by unprocessed emotions or just trauma, healing, things that need to be done. And so for the full moon, what I'm going to show you guys today is just a very quick little burn ceremony where I am burning away these cords and contracts. I already visually did it with her. I already said it, but to set it, I mean in concrete, this is how I do it. To watch it burn up in flames and turn into ash, go back into Mother Earth and be turned into something new. It's just my process. Everyone else has other ways of doing it, you know. Some people might think again, like, this is witchy, this is whatever. I don't care. This is how I process emotions. This is what I see working for myself, my family members, people that I'm helping, that I legit see a change in their life, and I legit see them coming and seeking me for advice, and it feels good. It gives me the confidence to know that I am on the right path. So this is one of the candles that I made myself. It has specific herbs and crystals to just amplify my intentions. If you follow me on my Hidden Gems Intuitive Healing page, I am going to be sharing a lot more about my candles and just the intentions I put in them, how I make them. I plan on creating some classes where I can come together with other people who really want to work on themselves, love themselves, and be better human beings. Heal things now in their generation so that their children and the children behind them don't have to do it. So I'm just going to go ahead and read one of the clearing statements that we worked on together, and then I will go ahead and burn it. So it says, I delete any cords, contracts, loops, or stories that I have bought or sold into the idea that it was my responsibility to solve or fix anyone else or to be the savior. I delete any forms of this from this lifetime, any other timelines, dimensions, spaces, and realities. Universe, I ask you to make this happen. And so it is. Amen. It's that simple. It's just declaring what you want, what your true intention is. But do understand that when you pray and you put out intentions and you tell the universe and you ask to rise your vibration, the universe is going to ask of you to grow. And it's going to send you specific, I don't want to say tests, but maybe challenges to see, how are you going to handle it? Are you going to show your growth, or are you going to go backwards to old habits? Because that's the trick, is growing, learning, making better choices. You can pray and pray all you want, but if you see and you know internally what you're supposed to do to make that happen, but you refuse to move, you're never going to get there. You have to be willing to do the hard work, whatever that looks like for you. Leaving a situation, quitting your job, chasing your dreams, telling people you think you're a medium. I mean, whatever it looks like. Because these are the things I've had to do on my journey. I've had to trust nothing but myself. Listen to no one but myself. I don't move unless spirit and my gut tells me to. I don't go anywhere. I won't talk to someone. I will not share my energy unless I know that's where I'm supposed to move. That's my path. That's right for me. That feels good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and exchange in this, whatever it is, conversation, interaction. The next card says, you are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. That just, for me, I really had to come to terms with, I've been a healer my whole life. I've been the one, I've had to grow up from a very young age. I've had to be a parent before I was ever really a parent. Which is why mothering just came so natural to me. But when I don't have my emotions in check, when I don't know the line between my energy and that person that I love's energy field, and where it's my responsibility versus their responsibility, that's what gets me in trouble. I have to love myself enough to know if this person is not exchanging the way, if they're not giving me what I'm putting out, I just can't, I can't do it. It doesn't matter how much I love that person, or how much I love this job, or how much I needed that money at that time, or whatever it is that I thought I needed to survive. At the end of the day, if it's hurting my soul, I gotta let it go. Confidence is your key to success is the next card. Confidence is the key to your success. New moon in Leo. Right now I'm really working on that. I'm really working on standing up for just really talking about, what am I doing? How am I doing what I'm doing? My connection with spirit and the things that I'm learning. Like, life is not what we've been told it is. There is a much bigger game, and at the end of the day, it's all about our wounding, our insecurities, the things we need to work on, because no one can hurt us once we have healed. Nothing. We just take our power back. Surrender to the divine is the next card. Full moon. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm doing. Like I said, I don't make a move unless I truly, in my whole heart. And that don't mean I'm not wrong sometimes. I do make mistakes. I interpret messages wrong. And I have to be willing to accept that, because spirit doesn't just show you, or come right out and say things. Like I said, it's all in it. You have to use your intuition. You have to understand how to interpret certain signs, signals. But spirit is talking to us continuously, and whether you believe it or not, you are continuously receiving messages and making decisions based on those messages throughout your entire day, your entire life. The only reset time, and even in your sleep, you are working in the spiritual realms. If you are dreaming, you're traveling to other realms, visiting different timelines, seeing different lives. But unless you understand that, you are open to so much things, so many vibrations, so many, advertising, social media, just different things in life that encourage and motivate and manipulate and direct decisions that are made, because really that is how, at the end of the day, spirit uses all kinds of different ways to communicate with us. Both positive and negative, okay? God and the devil, however you want to look at it, will use people, places, and things to work in our life in one way or another. So I'm just going to do a couple more cards and then I'm going to wrap it up. These are just little messages. We cannot timidly wait for everything to fall into our laps. We will receive only as we rise and march, for destiny turns its ear to those without fear. You guys have no idea how many times I have been afraid or didn't want to continue or push forward because I mean, when you're going through this in the beginning, you feel like you're going crazy. You really do. I mean, and I don't know why. I mean, I've seen ghosts, like I've told you, spirit, since I was 2 years old. That's my first memory, and there are many. And I know many other people. Like I said, I've been around people my whole life that have heard voices. But like I said, also, society tells you you're crazy. So when this all really went into motion, and I really do think it was the car accident, that near-death experience, that knowing that, oh my God, I probably should have just died right now, but I was so protective that I walked away with 2 black eyes and some scrapes. I drive by that truck every single day and thank God for my life, but I know that I was fully protected by angelic, out of this world energies. And the calmness that I felt in that car can't be denied. And it was a tipping point that changed my life. I also do understand that I believe that car accident was negative energies, negative people, negative thoughts, people wishing me death, people wishing me that I would just go away so they didn't have to deal with me. Because why? Because I was asking them to grow up, because I was asking them, I don't really know why, but I know what I know, and I know how it works. And I also know that all the shit that's going wrong in my life at the moment, it's all little shit, but at the end it all works out. That car totaled, and I had to go without a car for a while. Then I had a couple little beaters, but now that car came back to me 5 years newer and a whole lot fancier, and I am so grateful. Nothing can be taken from me that isn't mine. Everything that happens to me works out for the better. If that car accident didn't happen, we'd still be living in a tiny little 1-bedroom house, and we wouldn't be living in now a 4-bedroom home that suits and allows us to thrive because we have energy enough to move and breathe. Everything happens for a reason. Again, I didn't even get that money or clue to even file that claim till months and months later when it was time, and Spirit literally led it to me through a commercial. And my brother could vouch for that. I was like, oh, I wonder if I should check on that for my accident. I know I didn't have full coverage, but I did have that, I think. We have angels, guides, ancestors guiding us. If you're on the up and up and you're leading. Now, if you're not, you got ancestors and guides that probably are lower vibrational and not leading you to the best, telling you what you should be doing for your highest good. That you got vibrations that are feeding your ego and your pride. That want to hold you down in that lower vibration. Why? Because they're feeding off of the toxicity. But when you take back control of your mind and you claim your energy field and you understand really what's happening and what you want for your highest good and how you're going to get it, nobody can stop you. Life can lose its vibrant aura and charm if we do not bend the energy of our minds towards positive engagement and appreciation. Love is always the final and most complete cure to our inner demons. Again, guys, our inner demons is just our insecurities. What we perceive as flaws, how we talk to ourselves, the things we beat ourselves up for, what we consider our sins and what people are going to judge us for. Unresolved shit that we don't want to own up to. And when I tell you, I mean, there were like little angry children down deep in some of us. There are. That just want to be healed. They want to be loved. They want to be mothered and fathered and taken care of. They want to be protected. Those are your demons. What do they look like for you? How do they come out? How do you treat other people? Because that's really a reflection of yourself. And that's it, guys. That's what I got for today.